Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out The Arena from 1974, and this movie was directed by Steve Carver and stars Margaret Markoff, Pam Grier, and Paul Muller, among others, of course. The story of this movie takes place during the Roman Empire, and at this time, gladiator battles are kind of getting a little stale and people are losing interest. And then one day someone has the great idea of getting women to fight in the arena instead, or as like a sideshow. And so they train these female slaves to be gladiators. I actually think in Latin, it's not gladiators for female, it's gladiatrix for the female one. So they train to be gladiatrices, and they fight to the death for the pleasure of the people around them. Of course, them being slaves, they are not happy with this whole situation. So they want to escape and get rid of all of this situation. What will happen though? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, do try to keep in mind that it is from the 70s, and culture and society are just different back then. And with that being said, I do think this movie is like an exploitation movie. They're definitely exploiting these women because, they're fighting to the death. That's pretty exploitative. Plus their costumes are very kind of skimpy as well, and that's exploitative as well. So that is in there. With their costumes and stuff, I actually really like their costumes because, with real life gladiator battles, they had different types. And so they have different types with this one too. So they have like the shield and sword person. They have the helmet with the two swords. They have the net person. And I love the net gladiator. I think they're so cool. So they throw their net and then like stab with their trident. That's absolutely cool. So I absolutely loved all their fights. And with their fights in the 70s, they just kind of made movies differently. So whenever their swords like make contact, there's like a real like metal clinking sound there. And I absolutely love that. Plus they're all well choreographed, so that's great. Maybe I can clip in one for you. And so you can see all of the gladiator battles work really well, and I absolutely enjoyed that. So definitely some good things to see in this one. In addition, I think the script was really well written. Definitely some great speeches in this one. They're slaves and they don't like being slaves, so kind of remind me of like Spartacus speeches and that type of stuff. Really, giving you the willpower to fight against the man. Other than that, there is some like racism written into this one. It is done a little bit differently, where they have Roman people being like really racist, and they're like, Roman people rule the world, everyone else is like below them. And of course with this one, they get what's coming to them. Racism should not be out there, so they definitely get what's coming to them. But yeah, the script, definitely all of it just works towards their goals and works towards, developing the characters, every single aspect of it. So that is really good. And it's also well paced too. It just keeps moving and moving and moving. So all of the stuff with the script definitely works. And lastly, I enjoyed all the actors and actresses. They do a good job acting, so that's great. And they'll have like very unique individual kind of looks to them too. So just seeing this variety of different people as well definitely works for me. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, like I said at the beginning, the 70s were just a different time where, racism was much more kind of prevalent. Also with sexism too. I forgot there was sexism in this one too.
The women are ruining us. Not you, Prissy.
And of course they have a few sex crimes in there as well. So all of that stuff is thrown in there. I don't know how big of a deal it was in the 70s, but from 2022, a little bit distasteful sometimes, but it is in there. So you do have to kind of keep that in mind. So if you are overly sensitive to that type of stuff, then maybe try to stay away from this one. But if you have just like a keen eye and that kind of difference of cultures and society are interesting to you, then yeah, you can check this one out and notice all of those differences. Other than that, of course, there's some historical inaccuracies. For example, with the gladiators, most of the time they don't even wear their helmets, but like that was actually like the purpose of some of the gladiators was to have a special helmet so that it was limiting to them, so they could have like bigger shields or whatever. And what else? Oh, they have like legionaries, but the legionaries are using like bows and arrows, and from my knowledge, they use like javelins and stuff to throw, so that's also inaccurate. So there's a few things like that as well that if you are, a history buff, you'll pick up on. I don't know if a regular audience member will just pick up on it, but a history buff, if that's really annoying to you, it is in there as well. So who would I recommend this movie for? Well, if you like action and the Roman Empire, this is a pretty fun combination. So if that sounds like something you would like, then yeah, totally check this one out. As for rating, I have to give it the above average score of 6. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.